is going to be a puzzle. No, didn't get to that one. Oh! Okay, I'll get back to what was running through my head right there, maybe. The question is, what do all those songs have in common? Only people at IGC would know. So, you know what? That's it. I'm not going to answer it anymore. Well, here's another one. Okay. But hey, it is Wednesday, the 25th. Oh, yes! Okay. Needless to say, I've been a bit scattered for a long time. And the IGC had nothing to do with it. I mean, this goes back years, of course, as most of you know. But I am here with a mid-weekly update for a couple of reasons. One is I, of course, didn't get to one last week because, as you know, there was a lot going on. And I'm not going to get to another one this week because, in case you don't know, there's a lot going on. I'm leaving town tomorrow. I'm going to go visit my daughter in New York. So we'll be hanging out in the Big Apple. Hope to get the Statue of Liberty, the World Trade Center Memorial, maybe hang out in Brooklyn where my dad was born, or lived. He was born. I forget whether it was Brooklyn or Manhattan now. But no, when he's a teenager, he lived in Brooklyn. Anyhow, so I'm on the road, but I want to give you kind of an update on a lot of fronts. Some of the stuff that went on. Strange weather happening here, so the light is going in and out. Live with it. Let's see. I'm going to do a quick rundown of last week's and some of this week's Target stuff. Have some other things to tell you about a big surprise, if I can remember what it is. A little lost and found for our IGC people, and a little bit on some of the videos that you have been seeing that have been pretty cool during the week, and we hope to get to some more of that. So let me get the big stuff out of the way. Last week we had another section of In Christ There's No East or West, and as a matter of fact, today we had another section. So I hope people are working on our John Fahey stuff. Very, neat tune. Another really cool song last week that I hope I can remember. There it is. Oh, I did it as an ear training one, as I think. I can't play it. So I was really glad to finally get to Seals and Crofts, Summer Breeze. That was a song that has haunted me since the first time I heard it. It was 1973, I believe. No, maybe 72. I forget. I'm sure I say it in the lesson, so everybody probably knows that answer. Also, want to thank Vanessa for squeezing a lesson in last week as she was frantically flying out here. It's basically a 24-hour trip to get from her home in the Netherlands, and as you all know, she was here at camp with us this week. But she managed to pump out another Decemberist lesson on the Hazards of Love 4, which turned out to be a big hit at the open mic night at camp. The camp reports will kind of be scattered out over the next 3 or 4 months. And yes, we are working on plans for next year. Probably looking at the same time of year, mid-September, just so you know. Okay, what else? Oh, since it's Wednesday and not Friday yet, I can't tell you about Friday's thing, but we have something that we've never done before coming out Friday. It will be a big surprise. In which case, unless of course it doesn't happen, in which case it'll not be a surprise. Wait, okay, anyway, stay tuned Friday. No news Friday, but a very cool lesson. Let's see. Oh, and we also had, we're back on the pack thing. So we were finally getting together some of our packs for folks that like their things sort of pre-packed. We had the piano pack. Elton John and Billy Joel, a couple of tunes, 3 songs out of each of those guys. Finally got together the Avett Brothers pack that I believe I talked about a long time ago. And then the Advanced Fingerpicking Pack. I can't even remember all the songs in there, but there's stuff like... I think we have Mood for a Day in there, Linus and Lucy, Classical Gas, some of just the killer tunes. So I think that one's a 10-pack. Anyway, so for you advanced people that... that want to specialize in the lifetime's worth of material, check out our Advanced Fingerpicking Pack. Okay, back to camp things, because I really want to thank everybody that came. And Larry, our video guy, is going to be doing something really interesting. So everybody that was there were like about 35 people or so, you're going to be getting an email from Larry asking you to shoot a quick video, maybe a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes, telling everybody a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your guitar, and a little bit about your camp experience. So if anybody that has, I'll let Larry get that in the email, but just so you know, watch out for an email from Larry. Lost and found, speaking of which, in the camp, they told me they found 3 things. There was I don't have it here, a guitar stand in room 5. I think we can track down whose that was. There was an air mattress in room 10, and there was a Hawaiian shirt in the Haven. The Haven. Never mind. That's where I was. Needless, I guess. Oh well. And let's see. I want to thank Vanessa for coming out and doing some great stuff. Matt and I had a great time and really felt like this was so worth doing. I mean, it was getting kind of stressful there for a while, just in terms of trying to make sure everything happened. But I think everybody felt like it was a good thing. And I know we had a great time with Muriel, Alex DeGrassi, and Al Stewart. We may get some of the Al footage up, but just some absolutely hilarious things happened with Al. And I think one thing that everybody came out with, from particularly Muriel and Alex, where they're thinking, God, these such advanced players, what can they have to say that I can possibly learn from? Everybody walked out of there saying, man, some of the stuff that he was talking about or that she was talking about really applies to this, beginning song that I'm working on, or just approach to practicing and stuff. So I really want to thank those guys as well for taking time out of their schedule to come visit us. And then we had Doug Young, who same deal. Everybody saying, oh, I don't want to go into an alternate tuning, it's too much trouble. And Doug talked about Dad Yet, and I had a couple of people come up to me afterwards and say, those alternate tunings are not so scary. Everybody made stuff approachable to things. So okay, I think that is it. Let me kind of check my notes, because I gotta get back. Oh no, as many of you know, because you've seen her in some of the last videos, Lynn was so helpful. She kind of spearheaded a little goodie bag package with my wife Nani, and serious collector's items we ended up with the first annual Totally Guitars polish cloth. That's it. It's not a dish rag. So I'm going to polish my guitar with my bright yellow Totally Guitars logo. We may have a few of these left. We'll have to see what we can do about arranging to make them available. But I don't know. I really like it. Richard Hoover even used this one to polish my dirty guitar. We took one look at it and said, do you ever clean this thing? I said, no. Should I? Yeah. Well, anyway. The TG towel. Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys remember that? Terrible towels. These are TG towels. Okay. I think you guys all have the answer to the trivia question too, about all those songs at the beginning. I know there were more, but I can't remember them all. So, okay, that is it. I have, as I told you, it's kind of Wednesday. Today's the first day that things started seeming half normal. The decompression of coming back to the real world after being immersed in music, friends, camaraderie, performances, and no electronics, no TV. I had no idea what was going on in the sports world. Barely had an internet connection, and phone calls. Occasionally we get a text 4 hours after it was sent, if you got up high enough on the mountain up in the casa. So it was just like camp as a kid. You forgot what was going on in the real world. Bear, loved your comment. First vacation in 12 years. Felt kind of the same way. Just it certainly reminded me of going to camp as a kid and not knowing what was going on in the real world. Wow, we forget to do that kind of stuff way too often. Okay, next week I will be back on board by the end of the week, and hopefully we'll get back in our normal routine of 7 or 8 new lessons a day, and all that kind of stuff. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Okay. See you next week.